This story has considerably less panties and bras because it actually has to do with first grade. So this is a story about first grade, Pokemon, and betrayal. So this was the early 2000s when I was in elementary school. And for any of you from my generation, know that was the age of Pokemon. Everyone had a Game Boy. Everyone was playing Pokemon before school, during recess, during lunch, after school. Everyone was always playing Pokemon, just the way it was. Of course, my parents did not want me to have any sort of video games. So they weren't aware that I had a Game Boy, but it turned out my friend, whose parents were divorced, got 2 Game Boys for Christmas. So being a really good friend gave me one of those. So I had this secret Game Boy that I kept under my bed and snuck it to school every day. So my parents were completely oblivious to the fact that I owned a Game Boy. Now, I don't know how many of you guys played the Pokemon series, but in the very beginning you had your choice of picking 3 Pokemon. One of them was a Squirtle, which is a little turtle that squirts water. The other one was a Bulbasaur, which is a green lizard with a plant on the back. And the other one was a dragon. So what do most second graders pick? They pick the dragon. However, I always thought the turtle was the coolest Pokemon, so I picked Squirtle. Turns out Squirtle is super effective against the dragon Pokemon because that's just the way Pokemon works. However, we're in 2nd grade, so most kids were completely oblivious to this. So of course, I was the king of Pokemon because I was the one with the water Pokemon and they all had fire. So we started doing battles. We have the link system. You can connect to your Pokemon. And there's this kid named Gareth. Did not like this kid. This kid was always getting into trouble. He had actually just been suspended because he said the F word in 2nd grade. I thought the F word was fart at that point in time. So I can show you the difference between us. So he's like, Steven, would you like to battle? I'm like, absolutely. And I destroy him because he has a Charmander and I have a Squirtle. I'm like, well, that was a good game. Go to class. Class comes out, we go to recess. Everyone's huddled around Gareth. And I'm like, what's the big deal? I'm the Pokemon master around here. They're like, oh, Gareth's Squirtle is killing everyone. Gareth does not have a Squirtle. I have a Squirtle, okay? He has a Charmander. So I'm a little concerned at this point. So I pull out my Game Boy. Squirtle is missing. And Gareth's level 5 Pidgey is in Squirtle's place. Turned out, Gareth had gone to the bathroom during class, gone into my backpack, pulled out his Game Boy, and traded his Pidgey for my Squirtle. Now I'm furious, okay? You stole like what made me the king of the playground, my favorite Pokemon. I'm pretty upset at this point, all right? So I'm thinking, okay, calm down. If you tell the teacher that he stole your Pokemon, this could blow up and your parents could find out that you have a Game Boy, because this all has to be on the down low. So I asked Gareth, thinking maybe if he just admits that he stole it, he'll just give it back to me, we'll all be cool. I say, hey Gareth, that's really cool. Where'd you get your Squirtle? He goes, I caught it in the wild. You cannot catch a Squirtle in the wild, okay? That's just not possible. So I'm very upset, but I know I have to take revenge into my own hands at this point. So we go back to class after recess, and I also have to use the bathroom. So I go to his backpack. By the way, in case you're confused about this whole setup, we had a separate cubby room with the backpack, so it was separate from the classroom. So possibility of shenanigans was very high. So I go in there, I pull out my Game Boy, attach it to his, trade back his stupid Pidgey for my Squirtle. That's not going to be enough. So I release his Charmander into the wild. That's not enough. I release his Beedrill into the wild. That's not enough. I release his Geodude into the wild. However, I leave that Pidgey. That's the only one he gets to keep. So now, as you can imagine, we get out of class, and I say, hey Gareth, we should battle. And he goes, absolutely. He opens his Pokemon, just trembling. Is there something wrong, Gareth? Now in my head, this was an awesome revenge story where it ended at that point, and he's crying and it's all good. Of course not. Gareth goes to the teacher, and he says, Steven stole my Pokemon, and he's crying, and I'm crying, and I'm like, he stole my Pokemon. Well, it turns out we have to go and meet with the teacher together. We go to Miss Fanchon, and Miss Fanchon has no idea anything about Pokemon, so this is a very confusing predicament for her. And she asks, what happened? Gareth's like, he stole my Pokemon. I'm like, I stole it because you stole it. And she's like, what happened? Gareth goes, well, yes, I did steal his Pokemon, but then after I stole his Pokemon, he stole it back, and then he stole a bunch of my other Pokemon. And then I realized I had the leg up in this situation because I released those Pokemon to the wild. I never stole them back. So I say, Miss Fanchon. Now you have to realize this is the kid that dropped the F-bomb the other week where I'm the kid's like killing all the spelling tests. So Miss Fanchon definitely likes me. I'm like, Miss Fanchon, as you can see if you open his Pokemon list, yes, he is missing his Pokemon. However, they are not in my Pokemon list. I did not steal those Pokemon. She just wants to get done with the situation, so she's like, whatever. She gets Gareth in trouble. He has to he puts his little, I don't know if you ever had the system where it was your clothespin with your name was either in the green, the yellow, or the red. Gareth was usually in the red. That day he was only in the yellow. He got moved to the red. And I stayed in the green. So that's the story of why you should never mess with another man's Pokemon. Thank you.